Welcome back, viewers and subscribers. It's your girl, Star Flames, and we're back, baby, with another banging video. So, if you're new, you guys already know the do. Be sure to subscribe to my channel, turn on your notification bell, and join the family. While you're at it, give this video a big thumbs up and help your girl out. Now, guys, in this video, we're gonna talk about Jay-Z, the VMA bandit, and Tony Buzbee, because I realized that I don't know what the heck is going on with people. I definitely understand difference of opinions, but people are saying that Jay-Z is guilty and I'm being delusional. And if I can't see Jay-Z is guilty. Now, irrespective of the fact that people are saying he's guilty, no one is able to tie one single shred of evidence, information that makes this man guilty. Now, make no mistakes. I'm not saying that Jay-Z is a saint, because we know he's definitely no saint. But the point of the matter is, as it relates to the allegations that is being levied against him by the VMA bandit, he is 100% innocent in that case, and you can take it to the bank, whether you love it or like it. Now, what I realize is that people, you have to be very careful. And I'm saying this from a very loving, kind place, because people expect love to come with, oh, coochie coochie coo, coochie coochie coo, no. And I'm going to be honest with you all. I see a lot of people, jumping into this pit of fire saying, I'm a victim, so because I'm a victim, Jay-Z is guilty. You have to be careful of that. That's a very dangerous rhetoric to be sharing across the internet. You see, the things that you believe today and the lies that you support today, they're going to come back to haunt you like hell tomorrow. No. Even if you're a victim, when you hear someone says something happened to me, remember we have lips, and once you can talk, you can say anything using those lips, right? Once you don't have a speech impairment or a vocal disability, I can say, you know what? Mr. Pierce Morgan, he did something to me. As Pierce Morgan and I ever met? No, but I can position myself so strategically to accuse Pierce Morgan of doing something that he has never done to me, irrespective of the fact that we have never met. This is exactly what the VMA bandit is doing to Jay-Z. Many people think that when people say Jay-Z is innocent in this case, you're being a person who worships celebrity. You are obsessed with Jay-Z. And that those statements are highly arrogant and flammable. There's this thing that is called justice. And that is what most of us are sitting on, the side of justice. It doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter your status. It doesn't matter how many zeros you have in your bank account. For us, if you're guilty, you're guilty. And if you're innocent, you're innocent. We don't have to love you. We don't have to like you. We can hate you and still speak the truth, because in this case, the evidence is overwhelming in the case that this young lady is a liar, and she's a blatant liar. Now, I know that many people are saying, oh, she argued inconsistencies. She had memory lapse. Sorry. Many people are saying she had memory lapse. She doesn't have memory lapse. She's a blatant liar. And I believe that people like the VMA bandit should be held accountable by the court. There are things that, oftentimes when horrific, yes, we're going to have memory lapse, and when it's so bad and so traumatic. But when it reaches to the point where you can clearly see, when you see Tasha K standing up defending Jay-Z and saying, I don't even like these people, but this girl is, you have to know that's how bad it is. The first thing is that Tony Buzbee removed the time frame from the lawsuit, because that was the first inconsistency. Remember, Tony Buzbee told us 9:40 p.m. she went to the house, and at that point there was video evidence of them being, I think it was in the VMA Awards. So that was the first inconsistency. The second thing is that she said they drove through a U-shaped gate. If you look at Tony Buzbee's lawsuit, it says they'll repeat, rinse and use the same method again. And when Jay-Z's legal team said that, within the state of New York, there's no such housing because based on HOA policies, rules, and guidelines, there's no U-shaped gate within the state of New York. Not only that, the distance that the VMA bandit is saying that her friend drove her, that time frame and that distance doesn't exist. Thirdly, or fourthly, she said that it took her about 20 to 30 minutes to drive from Radio City to the party house. That distance from Radio City to any house in New York City does not exist. And I'm wondering if people are not looking at factual details. It is highly impossible. It is highly impossible for a actual victim to not remember everything. Are you guys realizing that nothing she says is factual? Absolutely nothing. Because there's no such gate that exists within New York. There's no such driving distance from Radio City that exists. And there's no such building shape that exists. Her so-called witnesses that she spoke to, there's evidence of them being on tour in another country. Her father is saying, I never drove such distance, and I'm sure if I did, I would clearly remember it. Another thing also that Alex Spiro pointed out is that how is it that you called your dad on an emergency situation to pick you up, and the drive was over 5 hours, and at no point in time either of you exchanged any words? That's highly impossible because at some point in time, there's going to be some icebreaker of a conversation. So I don't know how the heck people even gather the brain cells to see guilt in this case. It baffles me how people sees guilt in this case. There isn't a shred of remark. I'm not even saying evidence. There isn't even a shred of remark that suggests Jay-Z is guilty in this case. Everything from start to finish is incorrect. Every single details. And Tony Buzbee keeps lying. And Jay-Z saying to Tony Buzbee, how is it that you're filing a lawsuit and you have never met this client? And immediately the internet is like, but you don't have to meet someone to file a lawsuit on their behalf. And I realize here the internet goes again. Misinterpretation. The point that Jay-Z is making is if you had any actual dialogue, because remember guys, I don't know if it is that you guys are just liars and highly manipulative, just like the VMA bandit, but I have to assume that the people who are saying Jay-Z is guilty, I have to assume that you are like the VMA bandit, because how can you not stand on the side of justice? And when Jay-Z said, if you had any discussion with your client, if you had met with your client, people are saying, oh my God, you don't have to physically meet with your client. That's not the point. What is simply saying, and he's not placing words that is so, extremely highly intelligent where not even the smallest of us can't understand. These are very simple terms. They're not complex. So the level of misunderstanding, it's extremely overwhelming. I look at times and I laugh and I say, this is how the world will be tricked into one world order because people really don't pay attention to words and cues. His point is, if Tony Buzbee had any discussion with the accuser, like he initially said, he would have been able to identify that The inconsistencies are extremely overwhelming and as such not to proceed with the case. And Tony Buzbee said he did the screening. Remember, he said he did it. He said he spoke to her. Remember that Tony Buzbee discovered the inconsistencies with us? He discovered the inconsistencies the same time when the world discovered them even more, and that is through that interview that the VMA Bandit did with NBC News. Buzbee used Jay-Z's name as a PR tool, and that is exactly what he did. He thought that Jay-Z would have been an easy fold like Diddy, but it's not going to work that way. It's definitely not going to work that way. And there's nothing wrong with filing lawsuits and holding people accountable, because we know that kids are definitely at risk and the numbers are overwhelming. But in this case, why should we be nailing someone innocent on the cross? Oh, heck. It wouldn't be the first we're doing this, right? I forget. And as I say, history have a way of repeating itself. Make no mistakes. Jay-Z's no Messiah. He's definitely no Jesus Christ, but nailing him on the cross, it wouldn't be anything new for you people. But that's all I have to say about that for this video. Stay safe and just use your brain. Think, question things, because this is literally not making any sense, wherein people say Jay-Z is hiding something and he's guilty because he's not coming out to say he's innocent. And I'm like, oh my God, do you people have termites eating at your brains? Why would he be fighting the case? How many times has he declared his innocence? Like, OMG, wake up, people. Wake up and smell something other than the roses, because it's really horrible to see that the overwhelming inconsistencies on Buzbee's end, it's been taken as otherwise. It's really sad, and it's really unfortunate that the world, the internet, is like this. Peace.